All right, guys, welcome. This is Greg Caesar, and why don't you tell me where you are, first of all, your name and where you are dialing in from today. Let's see who we have here today. Type that into the chat box. Okay, we got Anthony, New York, NYC, that is my spot, and in Utah. David from Panama, that's a city I definitely need to get to. David, I wish I was there. Paul Marie is, oh, I can't tell. I love what you just said here, Paul Marie. Paul Marie says, hello, my name is Paul Marie. I am a newbie, but not for long, in Fort Myers, Florida. Paul Marie, I'm going to tell you that is what got me to where I am today, is that exact attitude. When I started, I said, I'm just beginning, but it's a matter of time before I learn. And I was on a quest to learn. I was thirsty for the knowledge. And I love what you just said there. Awesome. Congratulations to you. Carol from Vernon. Donald from ATL. He's right around the corner. Stu is from Miami. Subira from Maryland. Santa Clarita. Hey, I've got a good friend out there, Mary. That's got a couple friends out there. Connie Reagan Green is one of them. Dr. Al from North Miami. Hey, Dr. Al, how are you? David says country. Not sure what you mean there, David. Bill from Phoenix. Hey, Bill, how are you? Long time no talk. Stephen from Utah. Hey, Jan, how are you? Jan and I communicated today. Piani from Canada. Piani is an action taker. I love it. Awesome, Piani. Khan from Australia. That's another country I wish to visit. Have not gotten an invitation to speak out there yet, but I definitely will go as soon as I can. Paul Marie says, awesome. Yes, I have a burning desire. Oh, man, you are reminding me of a young Greg Caesar. I tell you, Paul Marie. But you know what, guys? That is what it takes. I wish I could tell you it was something else. It's 99% desire and 99% telling yourself, I want this more than I want my left leg. And you go out and you do everything that you can. We've got a special guest with us today, and he's going to be talking about what he's doing. And you guys are here getting knowledge, getting training. I go through new content every single week. In fact, I told some of my students this week, every Friday I go to Starbucks, and Ty and I, we talk all the time, and he knows on Friday mornings I go to Starbucks. And what I do, I bring my laptop and I bring training with me. I call it Creative Fridays. And usually from about 8:30 to about 12:30 in the afternoon, that's all I do is I digest content. If you are serious about your business, which I'm assuming you are, because you guys are here, you want to digest as much content as you can. This is your craft. And as your craft, you want to become better at it. Just like a pilot practices in the simulator, you've got to digest content and become good at it. Now, with that being said, our guest today is my good buddy, Ty Cohen. And many times you hear people say, oh, this is my good friend. And I've got to tell you, myself, Ty, his wife, my wife, we've been on probably, I want to say 5 cruises together. You know, my kids call him Uncle Ty. And, you know, he comes, whenever he's in Atlanta, he stays at our place. When we're in North Carolina, we stay at his place. But let me tell you something. Having someone that is not only a friend, but someone you consider family, who also happens to be smart, I can't tell you how powerful that is. It's funny, when my wife comes in the room and she says, you on the phone with Ty? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, yep, he's on the phone with his butt buddy. That's what my wife says. That's how much we're on the phone. But when we talk, we're talking about, hey, what are you doing in your business that's working. You should try this out. In fact, today, just from one of my webinars, I got some strategies from a mastermind we had with Ty on some things that we need to do different. But that's the power of being around smart people, and you guys want to do that. You're in the right place. You're in the hands of good company, and this is one of the smartest individuals. And I'm not saying that because I consider him like a brother. It's because he really is a smart individual, and I've learned a ton from him. In fact, all the success we had on Kindle came directly from what he taught me. He was my mentor and got me to doing what we do on Amazon Kindle, 100%. The way we set up our business, the way we outsourced it, the whole thing came from Ty. So you want to pay attention to what he's talking about today, because he's going to be talking to you about what he gave me and got us making a lot of money on Kindle. So it's the real deal. It's what's worked. But I will also tell you, when he taught me, I took action. I didn't say, hey, this is just Ty, I'm not going to do it. I took action, and I saw massive, massive results. So with that being said, I want to hand this over to you, Ty. I'm going to mute myself out and just be listening in the background.
Hey, man, thanks. I appreciate being here, and that was an awesome introduction here. There's a lot of pressure now on. I feel like a lot of pressure, but in all seriousness, folks, you know, I know that since you're Greg's audience, this is going to be an awesome presentation. And I actually, because of the relationship that Greg and I have, I actually took the time out this week to include some additional things in here. And I'm going to be sharing some pretty cool things with you. So are you ready to rock and roll? Right now, let me make sure that everyone can see my screen. So let me make sure it's not paused. So I'm going to switch slides here. Right now, you should see a slide that says, have you ever published a Kindle book before? And what I want to do is I want to make sure that you can see my slide. So do you guys see the new slide here? Jan says, I see it. Fiona, do I have your name correct? Fiona, is that it? Stu says yes. Stephen, yes. Donald, yes. Rick, yes. AC, and Paul Marie, like that. Wochevi. Oh, I'm certainly going to butcher that one. Is that correct? Let me know if I got that right. Okay, so great. So everyone can see my screen right now. Now, here's the other thing. This is going to be a very interactive session, I want to call it. And I say that because it wasn't too long ago where I actually just got started, and I used to watch a lot of webinars. And one of my pet peeves is the fact that usually when you watch a webinar, the presenter is just talking to you, right? So you don't get the chance to ask questions. You don't get the chance to really participate. And I said, if I ever get the chance to do a webinar, I'm going to make sure that I include everyone that's watching, and I'm going to make sure that I answer questions, and I'm going to make sure that it's interactive. It's more than just a one-on-one. It's a one-to-many, and it's a conversation in return. So I want to hear from you. So use that questions box to ask me questions. So let's start with the first question that I'm going to ask you. Have you ever published a Kindle book? And AC says, have not published yet. I am about to. Awesome. This will help me to better understand where you are right now. Mary says no. Samara, no. Alex, yes. Both fiction and nonfiction, says Ann. Awesome. Yes, I have, says Subari. No, says John. Yes, back when you could do PLR and I got banned, says Stephen. No, says Wukachuk. No, William. Christian, no. Fiona, no. No, but I've written one for Kindle. Dr. Al, no, says Donald. No, but I will soon, says Donald. There you go. I love it. No, says Moses. Yes, we'll be connected with faith. No, says Paul. Soon I am sure, says Stu. No, I don't have a clue as to how to do it, says Jay. Awesome. So we have folks that have and some who have not. This is good. All right, so if you have published one before, tell me, was it fact or fiction, and what genre? Fact or fiction, and what genre? And as you place your answers there, I'm going to continue to move on here. So we have some people that have published books and some that have not, right? All right, fact and fiction, business and children, fact, multiple genres, fact, business, historical fiction. Nice, Ann, I like that. All right, big history buff here. So that's awesome. All right. All right, so my promise to you is to give you all of the information that you need in order to research, write, and publish a series of best-selling Kindle books to generate massive passive income just days from now. Let me show you proof of what I'm talking about. Here's a text message that I received from Brian, one of my students. Brian is actually a professor up at Penn State. How many people have ever heard of Penn State before? And he became one of my students last year. And he found out about my program, and I started to coach him and help him through this process. And because of the results, like, he really started to get a ton of great results. He invited me to come up to Penn State and speak, right? To speak to his business students, to his class of business students, which was awesome because I've never spoken at a college or university before. So that was just really flattering. But anyway, he sends me this text message. He says, Ty, I wanted to update you. This month will be my first $5,000 month. I want to thank you for all of your guidance and inspiration. And then he goes on to say that his goal is to get to the $10,000 per month level, all right, shortly. All right, so that's one student. Here's another one of my students. I actually just had a Facebook chat with her probably about an hour ago. We were talking about being introverted and extroverted and things like that. But this is another one of my students. Her name is Tracy Voister. She's out in Seattle, and I think she's in her 60s. And she sent me this text, right, a couple months back, and she says, Ty, I sold 5 copies of my book this week. Now, you might be thinking 5 copies, that's not much, but here's the thing that really, really, really excites me. She had just gotten started 2 days ago. Like, she had just gotten started 2 days ago, published her first ebook ever, and has already sold 5 copies. Right? So this is the stuff that gets me excited, because I'm a big believer in the fact that if you sell 1 copy, then you can sell a ton of copies. If you get someone outside of your family, your friends, your mother, your dad, your wife, your husband to buy a copy of your ebook, then it's going to be a piece of cake to get thousands of other people to buy a copy of your ebook as well. Right, so I think I need to sign out of Skype because these notifications are driving me nuts. Here's another a testimonial that I got from one of my students. This guy is Darren DeVry. He's 66 years old, over in Perth, Australia. And he says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. All right, Perth, Australia. So you can do this anywhere. I know that we have a very global audience that's actually joining us right now. Doesn't matter where you're at. You can do this anywhere. You are at ground level of what is being called a new age diamond mine. Let's just take a look at some of the money that I've been able to make just playing around with publishing ebooks before I created a streamlined system for doing so. And when I say playing around, does anyone understand why I say that? Well, to be honest with you, the reason why I say playing around is because, like many of you, before I really got started and serious with Amazon publishing, I was all over the place. You know, I had what you would call shiny object syndrome. Everything looked amazing to me. So I was trying to run Google AdSense ads. I was trying to do PPC. I mean, I was just everywhere trying to publish websites. How many people are like that right now? Like, I was just literally everywhere to the point where my focus was everywhere. And then it got to the point where anything that I tried to have success with, I easily became overwhelmed because I was just everywhere. All right? Jay says, yep, that's me. All right? Oh, Fiona, no, she did not. Yes, she did. She did. Sorry. But how many people are like that right now? Like, you're trying everything that comes across your email, you open it up, you think it's good. Fiona says, yes, I have shiny penny syndrome. There you go. So that's the reality of it. It wasn't until, listen, do you folks mind if I deviate a little bit? I'm going to share some of the things with you that have worked for me. And it wasn't until I got focused. Sometimes we have to be honest with ourselves, and we have to say, you know what, Ty, I am just everywhere. I'm trying to do 3 or 4 things at once, and it's not possible. So when I got focused, then things started to really change for me, all right? And it wasn't, I didn't even get totally focused. So let's move on. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. All right, I'm all over the place and getting zero done. Absolutely, I can totally understand that. So here's one of the first checks that I received from Amazon. It was in the amount of $2,297.30. Now, because I was just doing so much, I really didn't understand the significance of this check and how powerful it is when it first came in. Right? I didn't understand that this is something that I could really, really grow into a mega business because my mind was all over the place, right? It wasn't until the next month when 30 days later, although I didn't do anything differently in my Amazon Kindle publishing account, I received another check in the amount of, bam, $2,873.13. So I went from this amount of sales, $2,297.30 to $2,873.13 the next month. And I didn't do anything differently. And that's the beauty of Amazon Kindle Publishing is your royalties grow year by year, month by month. All right? I continue to see increases. Now, at this point, I started to open up my eyes a bit, and I said, you know what? Maybe there is something to this Amazon Publishing here, and maybe I need to focus on this. So I started to leave some of the other things alone and put 90% of my effort here, all right? And then the next month, I saw another increase in sales. I went from $2,873.13 to, bam, $4,462.53, a whopping 55% increase. And then after that, I saw another increase, $8,403.84. So do you see month after month, this thing is growing 88%, right? Now, it's really standard for me to see checks that come in, or deposits, I should say, because now I don't get checks. I have all of my royalties electronically deposited in the amount of in amounts of between $30,000 to $50,000 a month, easily. Okay, so Amazon makes this entire system easy for you, and one of the reasons why they make it easy is because, do you think they're just doing this out of the goodness of their heart? They want you to make as much money as possible, right? Because when they make money, what happens? When they make money, when you make money, guess what happens? They make money, right? So they want you to make as much money as possible. And if you folks are students of Greg's, I'm sure that you totally get that, right? Because every time you make a sale, they end up making money as well. Amazon keeps 30% of the profits, and they give you 70%. Absolutely. So they give you the lion's share, right? Now, when you stay on until the end, you'll see a niche that my daughter started publishing to at 13 and grew to $5,000 a month in sales. So I'm going to share with you the exact niche that she's currently publishing to right now, all right? And she actually grew this thing to $5,000 a month in sales, and it's just a godsend because right now she's in college, and it's helping pay for some of her college expenses. Now, my name is Ty, as Greg said. There was a point where I was making six figures with Amazon.com's Advantage program. How many people are familiar with their Advantage program? The Amazon Advantage program is actually a program where you can sell physical books, you can ship them out to Amazon, and then Amazon will market and sell them for you, as well as do the fulfillment. So they'll ship out the books once you make sales. So because of the success that I had with this Amazon.com Advantage program, which is still around to this day, Amazon invited me to become a beta tester. They said, you know your stuff. We're rolling out this new platform called the Kindle Direct Publishing Platform. We'd love to have you come aboard as a beta tester. I said, sure, let's do it. All right. I spent years running tests to discover what works and what doesn't. Things like price points, different topics, covers, how to start and profit fast. I've made millions with Amazon. Hundreds of extremely successful students across the globe are mine. I've taught dozens of 7- and 8-figure marketers. So some of the most popular guys that are out there in this internet marketing space have said, Ty, you know your stuff when it comes to this Kindle publishing. Can you teach my children? Can you teach my wife? Right? And most importantly, I've taught my family how to make a killing using this system as well. Now I'm going to show you exactly how to do the same. Right now, there's nothing special about me. I want you to understand that I started out working as a clerk at Walgreens Pharmacy. Like, we had to work 40 hours when I first started. Then I got advanced up to an assistant manager where we had to work 44 hours at a minimum because we were paid a stipend. So I come from a very blue-collar background here. And when I first started publishing ebooks to Amazon, my main intention was just to make a couple of dollars. So with that, I have to state that you will most likely not make thousands and thousands of dollars from the first ebook that you publish. Can I just be honest with you? I don't believe in people trying to get rich quick schemes and lying to people and things like that. I just want to be totally honest with you. You will most likely not make thousands and thousands of dollars from the first ebook that you publish. When I first got started, like I said, I just wanted to make a couple of $100 a month, just enough to cover a bill, right? Kevin, is the audio on your side? Can everyone hear me? Kevin says the audio keeps cutting out every 4 or 5 minutes. Steven says he can hear just fine. It's back, says Patty. Fine audio, says Fiona. Awesome. Okay, for me, says Terry. Fine. Okay, perfect. Everyone can hear me. Now, this is a long-lasting business model that you can consistently generate income from for many, many years. This is what I love. This right here, because like I said, I was the individual that found it hard to focus, that found it hard to be consistent with any one thing. And I tell you that because, again, this is something that if you build this business on the concrete, not on the sand, you can generate income from it month after month after month for years. I have been doing this for 5 years. And my income every month, every year continues to increase because you're partnering with a multi-billion-dollar company, Amazon.com, whose primary goal is to grow. And because their primary goal is to grow and acquire more and more customers and to make more and more sales, you benefit from that. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure that everything I cover makes sense. Does that totally make sense? Right? So this is not like a business where you're off on your own. Oh, Fiona, no, you don't have to. Great question. Fiona asked, do you have to be a great writer? Not at all. I can't stand writing, and I'll show you that in just a moment. All right? So, absolutely. Absolutely, Paul Marie. He says, honesty is the best policy. Okay, so are you ready to discover the 3 secrets to publishing best-selling Kindle books on Amazon? Secret number 1, which is how to come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. If you want to write these down, you can, because I'm going to give you some steps that you can list under each secret. All right. Secret number 2, 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you hate writing like I do. So you don't have to be a writer to do this. I'm going to show you several ways to get your ebooks created super fast, even if you don't like writing. All right. Secret number 3, how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you can start making sales. All right. So let's dive right into this. Secret number 1, how to come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. So the first step is to use the Google Keyword Planner to find a best-selling book idea and come up with a killer title in minutes. This is super easy stuff. Take a look. So don't do this now. Just write this down and take notes maybe. Go to Google and type in Google Keyword Planner. The Google Keyword Planner is a free tool that you don't have to pay for. You do need to have like a Gmail account, like a Gmail email address or something like that, but that's fine. Let's see, and that's it. All right, so you would go here, and it's usually the first result that comes up. You would click on that, and then you're going to see a control panel that looks something like this. You want to select this drop-down menu item, search for new keywords using a phrase, website, or category, and then select all locations, all languages, Google, and search partners. Then hit get ideas after you put in your keyword, your phrase, or the idea that you're considering publishing an ebook around. So at this point, I was studying lucid dreaming. How many people have ever heard of lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming is pretty cool. It's where you can It's the art of going in. Jan, you've done it. Nice, nice. Lucid dreaming is the art of being able to go in and control your dreams. Like you're actually aware of what you're dreaming and then being able to direct those dreams. All right, lucid dreaming is very cool. Look it up when you get a chance. Donnell says, cool. Yes, it is. All right. Do it often, says Christian. Nice. I love it. Man, you could, you know, when it comes to, this is could be a totally separate webinar, but when it comes to goal setting and achieving your dreams, like I've used lucid dreaming successfully to really achieve a lot of goals and to hit my mark. But that's a totally different webinar. We could totally get off on a tangent there. But anyway, so does everyone get this, right? Right, absolutely, Stu. Visualizing positive outcomes. So does everyone get this? Google Keyword Planner, put your keyword, your phrase, your idea that you're considering publishing an ebook around, and then you hit Get Ideas. And then on the next, after that, Google is going to say, for the phrase that you put in here, here's what we see as far as global monthly searches. So for the phrase dreams interpretation, right, they'll say, here's some similar keywords that people are searching. So for example, meaning of dreams received 18,100 global monthly searches within the last 30 days. Dream meaning, 2,900 global monthly searches within the last 30 days. Dreams meaning, 2,400. All right, this you want to pay attention to because I'm going to explain it to you in just a bit. But before that, one of the questions I get is someone says, well, what about competition? We don't care about competition. When you're doing this stuff in the way that I'm going to show you and the way that I show you in the program, right, you don't care about competition because no one knows about what I'm showing you here, right? And when your competition doesn't know about something, it's easy to blow them out the water. That's why I have such great success. That's why my students have such great success because they're following this step by step. I'm a systems person, right? Like I love books like The E-Myth and, you know, things like Sam Carpenter's Work the System and stuff like that, where everything's, if you have the proper system, it's easy to get the results that you're after. And people don't know this stuff. You have the advantage because you now know this. But anyway, so here, because Google is going to tell you, they're going to show you results for similar phrases that people search for. If you do if you add these up and combined, your search volume is between 10,000 to 100,000, right? That is an awesome niche. That is an awesome niche. Okay? So did you get that? So if you add these up, right, after Google says, here's what people are searching for, and the total is between 10,000 to 100,000, that's an awesome niche. My research and all of my studying and everything that I've published over the last years have backed this up big time. I never fail when I get results that are between 10,000 and 100,000. Do you want to know why? Well, the reason why is because if it's less than 10,000, all right, then the marketplace is just not big enough. It's like having a Ferrari on a dead-end street. All right? And if it's more than 100,000, then the universe is just too big. Does that make sense? All right, perfect. Let me know if that makes sense. Give me a big yes so I can move on because I've got a ton of stuff that I want to show you. And I want to make sure that everyone gets it. Woohoo, says Paul Marie. Stu says yes. Peter D says no sound. Yep, says AC. Yes, says Fiona. All right, so for most people it makes sense except for Peter D who can't hear me right now. Wolchek, Rhonda, Michael, Jordan. Michael Jordan, wow, that was weird. Michael, and then we've got a Jordan right after him. Makes sense, says Ricky. Perfect. All right, so now let's keep going. Now the next thing is, I also like to use this section to come up with some killer titles. So this is very important. You can use the Google Keyword Planner for two things. Number one, to do your market research, to find out what people are searching for and if there's an interest, right? Because again, as I said earlier, if your combined search volume is less than 10,000, then there's not that much of an interest. It's not worth putting your effort into that niche. Find something else, right? But if the combined search volume is between 10,000 and 100,000, then you've hit the jackpot. That's like the honey spot, as my folks over in the UK would say. right? The other reason why you're going to use this Google Keyword Planner and why I love it so much is because you can come up with some really killer titles. And your titles are extremely important. I'm going to explain why in just a minute. But your titles will have a lot to do with the amount of success and the amount of ebooks that you sell. It's the easiest thing to get right, but so many people get it wrong, right? But so take a look at this. So here, same page, right? I can come over here and I can say meaning of dreams. I could use that as a title, as an ebook title, right? There's 18,000 people that are searching for that. Sometimes I'll add on to these. Meaning of dreams, how to tell what your dream really meant, right? Or meaning of dreams, how to tell what last night's dream meant. How can you add on to this? How can you add on to this title, right? So here's another one. This could be the main title, and then we could have a subtitle, right? Dreams and their meanings, how to tell what your dreams mean. Or dreams and their meanings, how to decipher your dreams. Who else has, let's see. No, Fairy. We had someone named Michael, and then right after that person, we had a person named Jordan, a lady Jordan, I guess. But so who else would add on to this thing? Right? How else could you add on to this? I just want to make sure that everyone gets it. Meaning of dreams. All right, perfect. Rhonda got it. How to tell what your dreams mean. There you go. All right? So now, one of the questions that I get is, why use Google Keyword Planner to find titles? Well, the reason why is if you craft your titles correctly, you increase the chances of them ranking high within both Amazon and Google search engines. Ranking both Amazon and Google, right, within both Amazon and Google will dramatically boost your sales. Big time. If you are able to get your ebooks ranked in Google and Amazon, you now have both of these multi-billion-dollar companies helping you to sell your ebook. Does that make sense? Okay, because what I found is that people search on Amazon in the same way that they search Google. All right, so I want to show you an example of that. Let's say that there's an ebook over here on Amazon, right? And it's titled How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. How to Market and Sell Your Ebook. Okay? And you have someone who is over on Google and they've just written an ebook. They are unaware that there's this ebook available on Amazon, but they've just written an ebook and they want to learn how to market and promote it and get some sales for it. Okay? They go over to Google and they type in how to market and sell your ebook. Now pay attention here. They click search and look at the results. What are the first things that you see up here? What are the first two lines? What are these things? No, Kevin, you wouldn't use the same 10 to 100,000 gauge for your book title. No, that's different. Ads, says Kevin. Paid ads, says Fiona. Ads, says Alex. Absolutely. All right, so these are ads here, and most people realize that. So what happens is we start to gloss over these, right? We become immune to even noticing them. But what happens is we start to focus on the organic listings here, and we want to know what's coming up organically. And we see two listings, this one and this one. Which of the two stand out the most? Number one up at the top or number two? And why does the one that you select stand out the most? Number one or number two? I just want to make sure that everyone gets this because this is powerful. All right, number two, number two stars, says Jay. Number two, Amazon authority and high ratings. Number one, highlight, says Paul. Amazon because it says Amazon. Yes, Amazon holds a lot of weight, right? A lot of credibility. Two, the known business, says Carol. Number two, because it has stars and ratings. Yes, Dr. Al, correct. All right. You can see that this thing has it's whatever is available on Amazon, right? That's number one, it's related to your search. If you look at your keywords that you typed in, how to market and sell your ebook, this is your potential customer. This is your ebook. So Amazon matches exactly with what you typed in here. So as Dr. Al said, it has the stars and the ratings, so they can instantly see that there's an ebook available for sale on Amazon that is a 5-star ebook with 47 reviews. What else? Let's see. Yes, the price point, $4.99. What else? Correct, it says in stock. Primary, there is no number 4. Oh, yes, number 4, yeah. Okay, if you count from 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. What else? There's a blurb here, right? Do you see that? So you get an idea as to what's in there. And you can see the subcategories that this ebook is placed in. So this person, if you have someone that's typing in the phrase how to market and sell your ebook, and then they notice that there's an ebook available on Amazon, how likely are they going to be to go in and click on it? Do you think they're going to click on this because it matches their search results almost identically, right? And it's coming from Amazon. Will they click on this? Yes or no? What do you think? Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely, Paul. All right, so now let's continue. So secret number 1 is use the Google Keyword Planner to find hot topics and to create titles. Right? Now, here's the reason why I stressed earlier that titles are so important to the amount of success that you have. Right? Does anyone realize that women and men shop on Amazon differently when they're shopping for ebooks and books in general? Does anyone believe that women and men shop on Amazon differently? I'll give you some time to answer. Mary says, don't know. Kevin says, women and men do most things differently. Yes, says Kill. Yes, says Alex. Yes, says Stu. I'm sure, but don't know how, says Palmer. Men do everything differently, says Donna. Women look at the reviews, says Kristen. Nice. No way, everyone shops the way I do. Jan, sound like me. My husband reads reviews more. Women buy more books than men. Dr. Al, you hit it right on the head. Women buy more books than men, whether they're buying them for themselves, whether they're gifting them to a friend, a coworker, a husband, a significant, a child, right? Women are the biggest market. So this is why it's so important to know who your audience is, right? So when you're doing your market research, think about it. Who may be my potential audience for this? Is it going to be more men, more women? And men and women shop on Amazon for books differently, right? And women back me up on this. Listen to this. Women, I've studied this stuff for years. Women first, they'll go on Amazon and they look at the title first because they want to make sure that it resonates with them. And they don't want to waste their time. If it doesn't resonate with them, then they move on to the next thing and something that does, right? If the title resonates with them, then they move in to the cover, taking a look at the cover, and then the description. And all of this stuff happens in a matter of milliseconds, right? There's not, like I said, massive amounts of thought that are put in it. It's just the sequence of events that takes place. So women, do you agree? It's like title, then I'll look at the cover, and then they go in and read the description, and then they'll go in and look at the reviews, right? Absolutely, says Ann. And Rhonda says, yes, correct. Michelle says, you hit it right on the head. Absolutely. The men, on the other hand, guys, I'm proud to be a man, but we do things a little bit differently. And it gets us in trouble sometimes. We look at the cover first before we realize that there's any substance, right? We look at the cover first, then the title, then the description, and then the reviews. Okay, so do you see how there's those different shopping and buying habits there between men and women? So that's why they both put a lot of importance on the title, okay? And that's why your title helps you to sell your ebooks. That's why you want to put a lot of effort into your title. All right, so now let's move on. Does that make sense? Does everyone get that? Men are visual, women are auditory, says Christian. Does everyone get that? Yes, says Donna. Yes, says Paul Marie. It makes sense, says Jan. Yep, says Kristen. Awesome. So write this down. Secret number 1 was use the Google Keyword Planner to find hot topics and to create titles. Now, after doing this for years and years and years, I came up with something that I call my title enhancers. And these are elements that double and triple sells. Initially, I put these in place, and then after months of testing, I found that simply adding the following elements to my titles can dramatically increase sales. Get ready to write these down because you want to use these things in your titles, especially if you're not selling to a point where you want to be right now, or if you're just getting started and you want to make sure that you are selling like wildfire straight out the gate. So title enhancers are elements that double and triple sales. Take a look at this. Title enhancers actually answer the questions that your ebook buyers are asking themselves in their head. So let's say you have 2 books. How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional over here on the left, and they're on Amazon, right? Both of these. How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional on the left, and Learn to Stain Your Deck on the right. Which one do you think is more appealing to most shoppers? How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional or Learn to Stain Your Deck? Number 1 on the left or number 2 on the right? Kevin says number 1. Like a Pro, says Jan. Right one, says Kristen. Number 1, says Alex. Number 1 says Carol. Number 1 says Paul Marie. Number 1 says Mary. Rhonda says number 1. Dr. Al says number 1. Terry says the one on the right. Fairy, green one. There is no green one. Fiona says number 2. All right, awesome. So here, let me give you an example as to why this works. Most of you have it already, right? Without even without the example, right? Most of you have it. You said number 1. But let's say you have a guy by the name of Johnny, and Johnny has been promising his wife for the last 6 months that he's going to go out and stain the deck the next day that it's nice outside. And it's a weekend, it's about 80 degrees outside, and Johnny's wife gives his wife gives him an ultimatum. She says either you're going to go out and stain that deck this weekend, or you're going to be sleeping on the couch for the next 6 months. All right? So now, Johnny now is sweating. He says, you know, how am I going to stain this deck? He's thinking, how am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? And he knows, you know, actually, Fairy, you're right. It is green. Patty, you're correct. It is green. All right. He knows that he's never stained a deck before, but he does know that he can go on Amazon and find some information on how to stain a deck. All right. He knows that he can do that. So he picks up his Amazon Kindle device or his iPhone or his Android or his tablet or whatever mobile device he has, or he can do this from his laptop or his desktop, and he can go in and he can type in stain deck on Amazon.com, and he knows that he'll find information on the subject. So he comes across the 2 books, How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional and Learn to Stain Your Deck. And meanwhile, he's asking himself, he's sweating. He's saying, how am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? How am I going to stain this deck? And he sees these 2 titles. How to Stain Your Deck Like a Professional really leaps out to him because this is the problem that he needs to solve right now. So do you see why these title enhancers work so well? Let me give you a couple of other examples here. All right. Here's another one. Quickest way to. 21 quickest ways to make money online versus the guide to making money on the web. Here's another one. Fastest way to. The fastest way to get your nursing degree Health Quad's nursing guide, right? Fastest way to get your nursing degree versus Health Quad's nursing guide. Here's another one. Easy ways to, quick and easy ways to lose weight. Tips to, the world's best kept tips to losing weight. So do you see how these work just by adding these title enhancers, how to, quickest way to, fastest way to, easy ways to, tips to, can help to answer the questions that your prospects and your buyers are asking themselves in their head already, right? Adding these to your titles and to my titles have increased my sales big time, right? So let me show you how these things work in conjunction with the Google Keyword Planner. So let's say you have your title enhancer, how to. You type it in and you mash it up with your subject or the idea that you're considering publishing an ebook around. In this case, garden. So we type in how to garden, we hit search. The Google Keyword Planner tells us for this phrase, how to garden, there were 45.5 million global monthly searches conducted within the last 30 days. Now, is that within our desired search criteria? Give me a yes or no. 45 million and a half. Let's see. Paul Marie says yes. No, says Donald. Yes, says Fairy. Hell no, says Kevin. No, says Ricky. Whoa, way beyond, says Jan. Rhonda says nope. Michael, nope. Reggie says nope. Absolutely no. This is way more than. Where do we want to be? We want to be between 10,000 and 100,000, right? 10,000 to 100,000. Now, luckily for us, Google says, you know, here's some other phrases that people are searching for as well that are related. How to make a garden, 201,000. How to design a garden, 550,000. How to build a raised garden bed, 12,100. How to plant a garden, 301,000. So which of these four is within our desired search criteria and would make an awesome, I should have actually kept this to myself, would make an awesome ebook to publish? How to make a garden, how to design a garden, how to build a raised garden bed, or how to plant a garden? Which one? Number 1, 2, 3, or 4? Let's see who gets it right here. Let's see. Number 3 says Kevin. Third one says Donald. 12,100 says Mary. Raised garden bed says Paul Marie. Mary says number 3. Paul Marie number 3. Raised garden bed says Ricky. Everyone has it right. You're paying attention. I love it. Easy stuff, right, folks? Easy stuff. How to make a garden is close. Yeah, it's close. I mean, it's off by 100,000. That's, yeah. But this one, so how to build a raised garden bed. Now, why does this one make so much sense? Like this is the perfect, all right, subject to publish an ebook around for several reasons. Give me one. Number 1, as we've already identified, it's between our desired search criteria of 10,000 and 100,000. But what else? Carol, you got it. That's one. Give me a few more reasons. Carol said it's focused. It's a niche market. Kevin says it's very targeted. All right, Paul Marie, because it's a certain way of gardening. Niche specific, says Donald. Less competition, says Stu. No, we you know what? We really don't care about competition. All right. What else? It has our title enhancer in it, says Rhonda. Right? How to design, how to, right? It has the title enhancer. Do you see that? What else? It's so specific. It answers the question of how to build a raised garden bed. Not just a garden bed, but a raised garden bed. Does that make sense? It's a deep dive, absolutely. Christian, I like that. All right. So, and one more that we haven't covered, right? This thing is awesome because it's an awesome title too. Like this has all of the qualifiers. How to build a raised garden bed, very specific. It's within our desired search criteria of 10,000 to 100,000. And the title is just killer. Now, so this is an awesome subtitle. I would add, main title. I would add on to it a little bit. I want to see if you guys get this. If you ladies and gentlemen get this. So for me, and give me some ideas. How would you add on to this? So for me, the main title would be something like How to Build a Raised Garden Bed, right? Which is our main phrase. But then we can add on and use the subtitle, How to Build a Raised Garden Bed in a Weekend. Christian, absolutely. How to build a raised garden bed in 24 hours. Or how to build a raised garden bed that your neighbors will envy. Or how to build a raised garden bed for Japanese tomatoes. Or how to build a raised garden bed from scratch, says Paul Marie. Right? Or how to build a raised garden bed for herbs, says Rhonda. How to build a raised garden bed in limited space, says Jan. Right? Donald says 21 tips to build a raised garden bed like a pro. Bam, there you go. Right, so easy stuff. This is easy stuff, folks. Remember I said once you have a system, it's easy to make money when you have a system in place. Because it's bam, 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 you do this, step 1, step 2, you do this, step 3, you do this, and you don't deviate from it. That right there, I'll be honest with you, I'm just going to deviate from this presentation for just a moment, just because, you know, I love the energy that you folks are giving me here. And I want to share something with you that worked very well for me. And once I got this totally changed things for me to the point where I went from making just nothing or a little bit of money with this online marketing thing to really making an incredible amount of money. All right, and that was to be able to go in and stop, right? Pay attention to what I was doing and then focusing on that 1 or 2 things that I wanted to do. And then the next point was to execute. So I had to stop, I had to focus on what it was that I wanted to do and limit that thing to 1 or 2 things and then become a master of execution. Right? Most of us fail because we don't learn to execute well. Because we're all over the place, right? So most people fail because they don't execute. Right? So once you get this stuff right, yes, D. Paramore. Once you get this stuff right, making money becomes super easy. Does that make sense? I'm sorry to have to deviate from this, but I just wanted to share that with you. Again, this is from my own personal experience. Does that make sense? All right, great. Let's continue. Let's rock and roll. I am having a ball with this. So secret number 3 is there's 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast. Super fast, yes, even if you hate writing. Listen, folks, I failed English 101 in high school not once but twice. My wife hates when I tell people that. But we're being totally honest, right? And if I could do this, then you could do it. If a guy who's failed English not 101, basic English, not once but twice can do this, you can do this. So in my preferred order, there are 3 very simple ways to get content to sell, and I've used all 3 of these. And all of these are very easy to do, even if you're a newbie to all of this stuff. I put this together so that whether you're a newbie or someone who's already published an ebook, you can get results. I actually put this together, to be honest with you, for myself, for my daughter, and for my wife. And I had folks like Greg and Jim Edwards, 2 people, Greg and Jim Edwards. They said, dude, what you're doing can change people's lives, because they saw the results that I'm getting. They said, Ty, you really need to put together a course and show people what you're doing. And I reluctantly did it. I reluctantly put together a program because, you know, I'm so busy making money and doing well with this stuff on my own. But I also realized that I'm so blessed and I have so much fortune that I do need to give back. So there we are. And I put this thing together so that anyone can get results. So again, I'm sorry to deviate from that, but I'm feeling the vibe, I'm feeling the energy, and I just want to share, you know, some of where I'm coming from with you. So 3 ways to get content to sell on Amazon. Number 1, get someone else to write it for you. This is the one that I use a lot. This is what I use most times, and I paid as little as $100 to $125 to have people write content for me, where you own 100% of the rights to it, and you can resell it as long and as often as you want. Listen, you can even put your own name on this content, or use a pen name if you want. This course gives you the only 3 sites that you should use when looking to have someone write your content. Plus, I give you the exact wording to use when looking for someone. Right? Easy stuff. Number 2, you can speak it, then have it transcribed. Most speech recognition software programs like Dragon Naturally Speaking, or there's one available at no cost on most PCs, and even on Macs, it's like Siri now, right? Are very easy to use. You turn on your mic And you don't even have to have a mic if you're using like a laptop or something like that. You can just speak into it. And then I think Google has a new one, Google speech recognition or something like that. They just came out with it. So you can speak it and then have it transcribed. The third option is to write it yourself. Not my favorite, but if you're a writer, this would be the perfect option for you. My wife can literally write an ebook in a day and a half. Greg and I, we have a mutual friend, Vondre Whaley, who's out in South Carolina. He can write an ebook in a day. So there's no excuses with this stuff. Which option would you go with? Number one, have someone else write it for you. I'm just curious. Number two, speak it and then have it transcribed. Or number three, would you write it yourself? I'm just kind of curious. Let me know. Interesting. Okay. Number one, we've got a lot of people saying get someone else to write it for you. Some people are saying number two and number three. Number two and number three again. Number one and number two. Paul Marie says number one. Stu says number one. Donald number one. Jay number one and two. Christian 2 and 3. 2 or 3 depending on my time, says Kevin. 1 and 2 says Jay. Ghostwriter says Steven. Yeah. 1 and 3 says Fiona. Number 3 because I'm a university professor with skill in writing, says Dr. Al. Nice. Well, you just like, I don't know if you saw my student Brian, who's also a university professor up at Penn State, and he writes a lot of his, as well as outsources. Number 2 or 3, Donna, I will definitely write it myself, says Ann. Number 1. All right, number 1 and 3 says J.E. Awesome. All right, so there's a lot of variety, a ton of options. All right, so now here's where I started. Right, the first 3 ebooks that I published, I wrote them myself. And then once I started getting the money coming in, I started to flip that money back into this business, and then I started to hire ghostwriters, and now 99.9% of the ebooks that I publish are written by other people because it's a win-win. They get paid to do something that they love. Does that make sense? All right, let's keep going here. Secret number 3, how to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you start making sales. Now, this literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes, okay? Yes, I do, Fiona. I give you all of the legal forms and everything when you're hiring a ghostwriter. Literally takes about 5 to 10 minutes to both create your Kindle Publishers account as well as add ebooks to it. Amazon has made it easy. And we talked about this before at the beginning, but why would Amazon make this whole entire process easy? They've made it easy, and as you're typing that answer in, I'm gonna expand on this. They've made it easy in the way that, number 1, it doesn't matter what country you're in, right? What country are you in right now? If you're outside of the U.S., just put it into the chat box. Type in whatever country you're in right now. Whether it's Canada, Russia, India, Brazil, Spain, just type in your country. I'm curious as to who we have here watching with us. So number 1, you can be from any country and you can still do this. Number 2, they've made the setup process extremely easy. Number 3, they've made the process where you can go in and make your ebooks and your content available on their site extremely easy. Takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do it. And number 4, they don't charge you to open up an account. Why would they make it so easy, and why would they invite everyone to take part in this program? Absolutely, Rhonda, because they make money. They want to make money, all right? Absolutely. So we've got Canada on here, says Fiona. We've got Barbados, says Kevin. We've got Wojciech, who's in Canada. Absolutely, they make money. So they want to lower the barrier of entry, right? It makes sense to get as many people as possible publishing ebooks and to get those people making money because, again, the more money you make, Amazon is brilliant with this. The more money you make, the more money they make, right? So now once you publish it, your book is now published on Amazon and ready to make you money, right? So there you go. Super simple, super easy. Now, once published, there's a few ways that you can crank up the sales. Number 1, you repeat the process and publish more ebooks, including sequels, which is something that I talk about in the course. There's so much in the course that I cover that I can't cover here because we only have so much time, right? But some of the other ways to crank up your sales is by tweaking elements of your existing books. Like if you have books that are published right now and you're not seeing the sales that you want, there's a ton of stuff that you can do to really ramp up your sales, to 10x your sales, right? You can go in and you can split test your titles, price points, descriptions, covers, all of the stuff I cover in the course. And then if needed, you can always go back and change these elements after you launch your ebook, because it's all digital, right? So you can go in and change up these elements as many times as you want. Make sense? All right, so let's review. Secret number 1, right? Here's what we covered today so far. How to come up with a best-selling book idea in 3 minutes, even if you've never done anything like this before. Okay? Secret number 2, 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast. We talked about hiring an outsourcer. So if that's for those individuals that are limited on time, or just like myself are not the best writers or don't care to write, you can also use a speech recognition program and then have it transcribed, or you can write it yourself, right? So the 3 ways to get your ebooks created super fast. And then secret number 3, right? How to publish and launch your Kindle ebooks quickly and easily so that you start making sales. All right, so we talked about these, and listen, is anyone starting to feel excited here? Like, I get excited. I've been doing this for a while, and I still get excited every time I talk about this stuff. All right? I still get excited. Anyone else getting excited about this? Look at the yeses coming in. Yes, says Stu. Yes, says Paul Marie. Michael, yes. Rhonda, yes. Reggie says yes. Valerie says of course. Richard says absolutely. I won't be able to sleep tonight. I love that, Richard. You sound like me. All right, so whenever I get excited about something, I'm always thinking about the possibilities, and I like to take action on it immediately. That's the difference between action takers who see results and those who don't, is they start immediately. All right, hooray, says Fiona. Look at the little girl, is how I feel. I like that. She's a cutie, isn't she? All right, so now I get excited because not only am I seeing a ton of success with this, but so are my students. Like, here's one of my deposits here, $30,000 in just a month. Who could use something like that? Here's another one of my students here. Brian sent me this text to say that he's now making $5,000 a month using my system. And his goal is to get to the $10,000 per month level. All right. He's a professor at Penn State. But he knows that he wants something other than a regular 9-to-5 that's going to really pay him what he's worth. All right. So here's another one of my students, Tracy Vorster. Sold 5 copies of her book the first week. And she did this, right? Her first week of publishing on Amazon. Here's another one of my students, Darren DeVry, 66 years old. 66 years old, Perth, Australia. He says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle Castro system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. There's no age limit to this, folks. My daughter is a teenager, and she's doing $5,000 a month. Darren is now, he's nearing in on 70 years old, right? And he's doing $22,000 a month to be exact. I mean, do you see that? How many ebooks do you need to make this thing really worth your while? So using the system that I've created, where I show you how to go in and properly do the research, the titles, craft your titles, right? I go into more detail in the system, and descriptions, plus price points and things like outsourcing, right? You can average $500 a month in sales per ebook on average. $500 a month in sales. So imagine having 5, 10, or 20 ebooks all bringing in monthly income. Where you do the work once and your ebooks sell for months and years to come. This is like residual income on steroids. Plus, it pays you over and over and over again. So let me ask, we've had a really honest conversation with each other. And I love the vibe. I love the energy. I love the transparency. How much money do you need to make a difference in your life? Is it an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $2,000 a month? Put it into the questions box, and we'll keep it secret. I won't call out your name, but I want to go back to something. I want to admit something to you folks here. I have a very, very bad addiction, and that is I am addicted to checking my sales on Amazon. I check my sales. I used to check my sales like 8 to 9 times a day. I would literally log in and I'm like, yes, there's another sale. Yes, there's another sale. I mean, I would wake up in the middle of the night, like at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and Donna says I'm doing that now. I love it, Donna. And check, Donna, I love that. I love the fact that you're checking your, like, isn't it addictive? Like, you go in and you're like curious as to how much you've made. Like, I would wake up 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and my wife would think that I'm going to the bathroom. I'm actually going to log into my computer and log into my Amazon account to check my sales, because it gets so surreal. All right. So Donna says she just hit 500 bucks. Awesome, Donna. I love that. Because it gets so surreal to the point where you're making money while you're sleeping. You're making money while you're eating. You're making money while I'm out with my kids. I make money while I'm out on a date with my wife. I mean, it's an amazing thing. There's nothing like passive income. Okay. All right. So there's a lot of people that are saying, $1,000 a month would do fine for me. 5,000, even 500 extra would be awesome. Absolutely, Paul Marie. That's where I was when I first started. I just wanted to make a couple $100. $500 because it's worth twice as much here, says Kevin. 1,000 a month, someone else says. All right, 1,000 a month, says someone else. How could something like this change your life? What would you do with the extra income? Would you put it towards your kid's future? Use it to pay off your mortgage, buy a house, buy your dream car? Here's the thing, folks. I recently, 2 days ago, was able to achieve my dream, and that is a major goal that I've had since I was 15. And that is to buy my mother a house. All right? My mom lives up north. I live in the south, and I wanted to get her closer to me. So she's 70. She's going to be 77 next month on the 19th. So for her 77th birthday, I bought her a house thanks to Amazon. Thank you. Congrats, says everyone. Thank you. This is something that I've dreamed about since I was like 15 or 16 years old. I just thought, like, what little boy doesn't want to buy his mom or his parents a house? My dad passed a couple years ago, right? So it's just my mom. But like this is, and like, I would have never have believed that this is something like that would be possible for me. Right? And with Amazon, it is very possible. All right, so there's so much that you could do. Travel the globe. My family and I, we just got back from, not just, but in April, we got back. We went to Thailand for 3 weeks. All right, we flew from New Jersey to China, and then from China to Bangkok, Thailand, then from Bangkok, Thailand to Chiang Mai, Thailand, and then from there we went to Phuket. All right, so there's so much that you can do with this. Right now, the possibilities are endless. Now, let me ask you a question. The past hour, would you agree that it's been time well spent? All right. Now, obviously, I can't cover everything in a 90-minute presentation, right? That you need a 90-minute presentation, because we're just so limited. So I've created a special offer so that you can get everything that you need to know. I've got so much more that I want to share with you. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you a very special deal. So is it okay if I help you and share? Give me a big yes if it's okay if I help you and share. Now, one of the things, I study personal development a lot and behaviors, and one of the things is I realize that old habits die hard. Sometimes we'll go to a seminar, we'll go to an event, we'll listen to an audio, we'll read an inspiring or motivating book, and then once we're done with it, once we're taken out of that environment, then what happens? We go back to everyday life, and we start to subside. Because of that, I don't want the excitement of this presentation to wear off on you. So because of that, I've created a program called the Kindle Cash Flow Program, where this is actually not my $20,000 program. I have a $20,000 program that I'm actually totally booked up on right now. I have 10 people in this program where they pay me $20,000 plus 10%, right, of their sales, of their royalties, up to $100,000, and I'm totally maxed out on that, so I can't take anyone else. Every time I tell people about that, I get people who ask me if I'm still taking new students. I can't, so I just want to make sure. This is not my $20,000 program. This is the online home study course that you get, and it's the same exact information that I give to my that I provide for my $20,000 students. So this is an online home study course where you get to see what I do, why I do it, and the results that I get. All right, so what you'll get in this program is you get the setup module, which is a $997 value. In this module, we talk about setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned. You also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. And in this module, we talk about finding the right niche in readers, niches that sell, and readers that buy. All right. You'll also get the Buyer Magnet module, which is a $2,997 value. And in this module, I cover the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. I really go into detail on things like covers and price points and descriptions and reviews and how to really set that stuff up and structure it so that your sales are astronomical. You'll also get the KDP Cash Extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. And in this module, I cover the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct Publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. Total value of everything here is $8,991, right? Now, here's the thing, folks. Just like my $20,000 program, I can only let 10 people into this program, okay? So I'm just taking 10 people into this program because, you know, I enjoy doing what I'm doing. I don't do this for the money. I'll take the money, but I don't need the money. I make a ton of money on Amazon. I do very well with my $20,000 coaching program where I show people how to do this. So because of that, I only want to work with 10 individuals. So I've got some fast action bonuses for the first 10 people only. And the first bonus is, remember I told you that my daughter, who's a teenager, is making $5,000 a month publishing mystery thriller novels, right? We're going to conduct a one-time only exclusive live training class where we're going to show exactly what she's doing. Exactly what she's doing. She publishes ebooks to the mystery thriller genre, and she's publishing mystery thriller novels. And when I put this program together, the same program that you're going to be getting access to in just a few moments, I put it together with the intention that anyone, whether you're a total beginner who's never done anything before, or you're someone who is a bit more experienced, can get results. So I put this together so that both the newbie and the more advanced person can get results. During this training, you'll see how she comes up with ideas, how she does her research, the fishing method that she uses to hook buyers in. She sold over $50,000 worth of ebooks using just this method alone. You'll get the letter method that she uses to make people buy every single title in her ebook series, right? And this is going to be only available to the first 5 people to say that I'm in, because it's a live training class, and I don't want to share this stuff right here with everyone. So this is a $5,000 value, and this bonus class will start 6 to 8 weeks from now. All right, so the first 5 will get this added bonus. I'm only taking 10 people, but the first 5 will get that. Everyone will get, all 10 of you will get this fast action bonus number 1, which is the Google Kindle Crunch, which covers getting your ebook listed in Google. And this will show you how to increase your sales big time. This is where 30% of my sales come from. So if I make $30,000 in a month, 10,000 will come from this. If I do 45, then 15,000 will come from this method here. All right. This is a $1,997 value. You'll also get the Money Multiplicity module, which shows you how to publish the same content that you're going to be publishing to Amazon, and take it and also publish it to the Barnes & Noble's Nook platform, as well as the Apple iBook Store platform. So now you're literally tripling your ebooks exposure. And this is a $997 value. This is an extra special bonus that I threw in here because you're part of Greg's group here. And this is something that people absolutely love. They love this, but again, we're only taking 10 people, and I strategically set that number at 10 because this bonus cost me real money. It cost me about $600. You're going to get your own virtual assistant. So this is an individual that can help you with researching topics. He or she can help you with coming up with title ideas, writing out descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working on some of your other businesses. Okay? So this is a virtual assistant that you're going to get for 40 hours, and you'll be able to use this individual for any of these things that are mentioned here. Right? So again, this one actually cost me real money, so That's an awesome bonus that people get a lot of value out of. The other thing that you're going to get access to is you'll get access to our private Facebook group where you can get to ask questions, get updates. I'm constantly updating my findings. I'm constantly running new tests. You can come in here and share ideas. We have almost 800 students that are in this thing. You can brainstorm with some of the other students. You can get help. We have people that are just starting out like you, that will just be starting out, just as you are right now. We also have people like Darren DeVry who's in there who's doing $22,000 a month. We have guys like Brian that's in there who's doing, I think Brian is at about $8,000 or so a month right now. We have people like Tracy who's in there. We've got so a variety of individuals, and this is like a family, folks. We all help each other out. This is awesome. I'm going to show you this Facebook group in just a moment too, so hang around if you want to see that. But one of the quickest ways to be successful at anything is to get around successful people and find out how they think. So this Facebook group access gives you that chance to never be alone. So anytime you have a question, we're right there. So I had two choices with this. The first was to go as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible. And it wouldn't incentivize me to really stack the value on for you. But for this event only, I went really inexpensive. All right, so it's nowhere near what I normally charge just because Greg got the hookup for you guys. The second option, which requires a little higher investment, but in exchange I'm able to devote more resources to guarantee your success, is one that I'm pretty proud of, and you're going to see that in just a moment. And if you got to the point where, answer this question for me. All right, this is not how much you're going to pay, but if you got to the point where, like my student Darren DeVry, you're making $20,000 a month, would it make sense to pay $5,000 for something like this? Give me a big yes or no. Then after every sale after that month is pure profit, right? Okay. So again, remember, only the first 10 people will get all of it. Everyone's saying yes. So to this question, everyone sees the value in this. Everyone says yes, it would make sense to pay $5,000 for this, right? Because of the value. That's not what you're going to pay though. But remember, only the first 10 people will get all of the fast action bonuses. So type this URL in fast once I give it to you so that you're one of those 10. With everything that you get coupled with the earnings potential, you can see why this program is a good deal at $5,000, right? And normally, this is not what you're going to pay, but normally I sell this thing for $2,997 for the general public. But because you're at this webinar, you're watching this webinar, and because Greg is a good friend of mine, you're not going to pay that. I've actually broken this down into a third of that. So my normal $3,000 price tag doesn't apply, all right? When you order right now from this live presentation, and again, we only have 10 slots, you're going to be able to get everything that I mentioned, including all of the bonuses, for just $997 if you're one of the first 10 to take action. And we have a ton of people. When I say a ton of people on this thing, we have a ton of people on here. So you want to make sure that you go in, you get in now. I will put the URL into the chat box. And I'm also going to answer all questions, and I have a few more things that I want to show you as well. So I've got some extra special things that I want to show you. So hang around and make sure you ask your questions because I'm going to answer every single question, okay? So I'm putting the URL into the chat box so you can click on this link that I'm putting in here. So again, to get in, you simply go to www.30dayprofits.com, right? I just put the link into the chat box. Now, here's the thing. Because we only have 10 slots open, once you get your order in so that I know what order you came in, what numerical order you came in, like first, second, third, fourth, just put the words "I'm in" into the questions box. All right, so put the words "I'm in" into the questions box once you get in, okay? So again, that website address is 30dayprofits.com. And here's something extra cool too that a lot of my students have done, and it's worked out really well for them. PayPal now has a PayPal credit option where if you are in the United States, you can go in and you can use the PayPal credit option and get access to this program immediately without paying for it right now. So PayPal will extend credit to you so that you can go in and instantly get access to this program right now, and you don't have to pay PayPal back for 6 months. All right, 6 months. So on the site, we've got instructions on how to go in and do that. There's actually a video that shows you how to apply for PayPal credit. It takes like 4 seconds to do this. If you're in the U.S., you just enter, like, I think the last 4 digits of your social security number. Wow, Rhonda, you're fast. Rhonda says, I'm in. Order complete. All right, good to have you in, Rhonda. All right, welcome aboard. Michael says, I am in. All right, so, wow, okay. Lots of people are in already. So remember, we have 10 slots left. 30dayprofits.com is the URL. If you don't, you can use a Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover. Or if you don't have the funds now, you can use your PayPal credit option. Here's a testimonial from one of my students, Stan DeVry. He says, this has been my best month so far with 258 sales to date with only 3 titles. I'm very happy with the progress considering my circumstances. He went through a bankruptcy and things like that that affected him once the recession had hit. And he says, I just wanted to say thank you again. I can see the end of a tunnel. Okay. I asked him if I could see, because this is so powerful, I asked him, I said, Darren, can I use your testimonial? And then he emailed me back the next day. He says, sure, Ty, you can use it. As a matter of fact, I'm now up to 336 sales as we speak. Robert, I see that your order is in. Robert says, I'm in. Good to have you in, Robert, as well. All right. I'm happy with that. I was hoping for 200 sales this month, so really happy. I'm going to try for 1,000 sales a month. Now, imagine if he makes 1,000 sales and he's selling his ebooks at $10 bucks. That's $10,000 for him. All right. Thank you, Ty. So now, here's another testimonial. We were having a conversation on Skype not too long ago, and he sent me this testimonial. He says, Ty, over the last year, I've continued to follow the Kindle cash flow system, and I'm now doing $20,000 per month in sales. Right? This guy is 66 years old, and he's killing it. If all this did was to finally allow you to, let's see, let me just check to see who else is in. All right, we have Kevin is in. All right, good to have you, Kevin. All right, Kevin says, I'm in. So remember, go in and put the words I'm in into the chat box once you get in, so we'll know who came in. All right. Moses says, I'm in. Good to have you in, Moses. All right. Paul Marie, what type of an issue are you having with PayPal? Paul Marie says, I'm in. If I can get my PayPal to work. Okay, go ahead, Paul Marie. Check it out and let me know if you need help. If all this did was finally allow you to generate a consistent hands-free passive income every month, would it be worth it? If all this did was, and answer these honestly, if all this did was give you the kick in the butt to finally get you moving and making money online, would it be worth it? Like, this was the thing for me. It got me to the point where, you know, I started making money because I was focused, and I had to get that swift kick that I needed to get me to that point. All right, if all this did was give you 2 or 3 ebooks that each brought in 500 bucks per month to pay a bill or save, would it be worth it? Right? Answer those questions. And this is the program, again, you can get in over at 30dayprofits.com. Right? It's a complete digital program. You get instant access to it, so you can get started right now. All right? We've got more folks that are joining us right now. As you get in, put the words I'm in, all right, into the questions box so that we know where you're at. What you'll get is you'll get the setup, which is a $997 value. This covers setting up your account, how to get started quickly, what not to do so that you don't get banned. You'll also get the Kindling for Profits module, which is a $1,497 value. And this module covers finding the right niche and readers, niches that sell, and readers that buy. All right, let's see. You'll also get the Buyer Magnet module, which is a $2,997 value. This module covers the critical must-have elements that will make your ebook sell. We cover prices, descriptions, reviews, covers, and everything else, all of the other elements that you need to really knock it out the park with this program. Right? You'll also get the KDP Cash Extraction module, which is a $3,500 value. And this module covers the secret ways to use the Kindle Direct publishing platform to make more money than most people ever will. Right? And the total value of everything here is $8,991 here. Right, so you'll get all of these modules here. You'll get all of this. You'll also get all of these bonuses here. All right, so you'll get everything that's here, and that includes the Google Kindle Crunch bonus number 1, which shows you how to get your ebooks listed in Google. This alone will increase your sales big time, and this is where actually 30% of my sales come from. You'll also get bonus number 2, which is the Money Multiplicity bonus. And this shows you how to publish the same content to the Barnes & Noble's Nook Press platform, as well as the Apple iBook Store platform. So you can take the same Amazon Kindle direct publishing content that you're publishing and publish it to these other 2 platforms as well and triple your exposure. All right, so this is a $9.97 value. You'll also get the virtual assistant here. Again, this one is awesome because you get someone, a real live human being that can help you for 40 hours to assist with things like researching topics, coming up with title ideas, writing out descriptions, communicating with your writer, or anything else that you can think of, including working on some of your other businesses. Right? So this actually cost me real money, and if you're one of the first, in that first 10, you're going to get this. So everyone that I've called out so far, you guys have all of these bonuses. You'll also get access to that private Facebook group, all right, where you get to meet. It was about a year, Fiona. You get to meet up with other individuals. You get to ask questions. You get to talk to myself, to some of the coaches that are in here. You get to share ideas. You get to brainstorm. All right. So again, you can get started at www.30dayprofits.com, and you'll also get this one-time bonus class as well, which is only available to the first 5 people. Okay. You can get started now for just $9.97. All right. If you're one of the first 10 Fast Action members, again, that website address is 30dayprofits.com, 30dayprofits.com, and we also have the PayPal credit option as well. So if you have PayPal and you want to use that as an option, you can do so. All right. You can pay using like funds in your PayPal account, or if you have like your credit card or your checking account attached to your PayPal account, you can do that. Or if you want to go and apply for the PayPal credit option, you can also do that as well, and you can get access to this program right now within the next couple of minutes and not have to pay for it for 6 months from now. All right, so that URL is 30dayprofits.com. Now right now you have 2 choices, which is to, and Marie, I got you. I see your question there, Mary. I will get to you in just 1 second. I totally have you. Let's see. First option is to do nothing and not take this leap of faith. All right. And the second option is to pony up the small, tiny investment today compared to all of the value that you'll receive in return, and just give it a shot. Right. Just to try it out. Here's my crazy 3-part guarantee to this thing is research. If you can't find a hot topic to create your first ebook around, I will personally help you to get started. Outsourcing. If you can't find someone to write your ebook for you, I will give you access to one of my best writers who will write your first ebook for under $150. All right. Sales. If after 60 days you're not making at least $500 an ebook, I will have one of my top coaches jump on a call with you to help kickstart your sales. And I see more sales are coming in, folks. I just don't have time to call out the names right now, so just continue to put I'm in into the questions box. Now, this is only for serious people here. Once you're in, you're in. No tire kickers. You'll know if this is for you. I'm looking for serious students that are ready to explode their Kindle publishing business this year. So again, that URL is 30dayprofits.com. With other opportunities, it can take 3 to 5 years to get your initial investment back. With something like this, you get 5 times back that with the first couple of ebooks that you publish. Right? So the tale of 2 people. We all know these individuals, right? You have someone like Timid Tommy who says, you know, well, Ty, you can do this. Greg, you can do this. You guys are different. You're smart, or you have someone, or you know people, or they make up all types of excuses, right? So they never see success. They never see results. This is where I used to be. Then you have individuals like Brave Bob who they always try, no matter what. They're like, if this person can do it, I know I can do it. You have to learn to be like Brave Bob. All right. Let me show you what you do next. Once you visit 30dayprofits.com, right, you're going to see Paul Marie, I'm not sure I understand the question. All right, once you visit 30dayprofits.com, you're going to see a page that looks like this. Here you can go in and you can choose the add to cart button, and you can pay using your Visa, your MasterCard, your American Express, your Discover. Here you can go in and use PayPal, right? So if you want to use PayPal and PayPal funds that you actually have in your account right now, you can do that. Or if you want to use PayPal and some of the funds that are connected to your checking account or to your credit card, then you can do that as well. All right. So if you want to apply for the PayPal credit option, if you click this button here, you can do that as well. All right. So this is pretty cool, this PayPal credit option, because it gives you a way to get started right away. You'll get access to the entire program. That's the URL again, 30dayprofits.com. Here's everything that you'll get in the course. And Marie and let's see, Janet, thank you. Welcome aboard. Okay, good to have you in as well. Julie, yes. All right, I have something for you, Julie. Let me show you this really quickly here. All right, take a look, Julie. Here's some more testimonials from people that have gotten started with this program here. All right. Julie, take a look at this. I've got something extra special. If you don't have a $9.97 right now, how about we break it up into 2 payments, right? 2 payments where you can go to 30dayprofits.com if you want to make the 1 payment of $9.97. This is the only way you can use PayPal credit, right, is by making a 1 payment of $9.97. But if you want to use your credit card, you can go to yourkindlekit.com and make 2 payments of $5.49. Right, 2 payments of $5.49. If you go to yourkindlekit.com, you'll make 1 payment right now, and then you'll make the other payment 30 days from now, which gives you time to go in and be able to start making some money with this thing, right? Isn't that cool? So we've got both of those options right there. We've got another person. It looks like Edward is in as well. Good to have you, Edward. Let me give you the URL to both of these links here. Let's see. So there you have both links. Okay. So again, 30dayprofits.com. So tell me, why haven't you signed up yet? Give me a reason, right? Because we have a ton of people that are here. All right, and we have like 2 more slots left. So whether you're watching this live right now or you're watching the replay, all right, you can go in and you can get in right now. All right. So reason number 1, you don't think that you can come up with ebook ideas that sell. Right? If that's the case, remember my crazy guarantee. I give you a guarantee where if you're not able to come up with an idea, I'll jump on the phone and help you. All right? Reason number 2, you're nervous about putting it all in place. Okay? Now, here's the thing, folks. It's like riding a bicycle. When you first get started, you're going to be nervous. All right? I was nervous about buying the house, right? You get nervous about seeing results with things. Okay, but you have to jump in at times. Here's reason number 2 why you haven't signed up yet. Let's see. Marie, good to have you on. Welcome aboard. Reason number 3, you think it's too expensive. Well, it's too expensive not to actually take part in something like this. Think about it. We still have orders that are coming in. Just put an I'm in once you get in too, so I can know who's in. All right? So think about that. It's too expensive to miss out on something like this. And you don't want to miss out on anything that can potentially change your life big time in a way that this can. All right, so get in now by going to 30dayprofits.com, where you can pay 1 payment of $9.97, or if you'd rather break it down into payments, you can go to yourkindlekit.com and make just 1 payment of $5.49 right now, and then another payment of $5.49 30 days from now. All right. We have just a few more slots left. You can also go in and use the buy now, pay later with PayPal buyer credit option. So to use this option, okay, visit 30dayprofits.com. All right, so 30dayprofits.com if you want to go in and pay with PayPal credit. All right. Now, here's some other reasons. If you didn't sign up immediately, tell me. I'm curious. Write it into the questions box. If you didn't sign up immediately, let me know why. Okay. Reason number 4, you live outside of the U.S. Well, this is the thing. I have students that are literally everywhere, that are in the U.S., that are in Russia, that are in Canada, that are in the U.K., that are in Italy, Spain, France, Brazil. All right, did I say Russia already? They're in South Africa, that are in Nigeria, that are doing this. Amazon doesn't limit you. All right, so there's no excuse there. Reason number 5, you don't want time to think about it. You want time to think about it. All right? If that's the case, write down the URL, 30dayprofits.com, but I can't guarantee that you'll be able to get in. If you try to visit the website and it says sold out, that means that you missed out. All right? That means that you totally missed out. But go ahead, once we sell out, you'll see a big sign that says sold out once you visit the site, 30dayprofits.com. Reason number 5, English is not your first language. Doesn't matter. You can publish in other languages when you're publishing to Amazon. All right, so 30dayprofits.com for one payment of $9.97, or yourkindlekit.com for two payments of $5.49, where you make one payment now and then the next one later. All right, you can also use that buy now, pay later with PayPal buyer credit option, and to do that, you can go to 30dayprofits.com. All right, so if you didn't sign up immediately, reason number 7, you've never sold anything online and you're new to all of this. If that's the case, this is the easiest thing to get started with. I actually advise newbies to get started with this because it's so handheld easy. It's like paint by numbers easy. Reason number 8, you don't have enough money. If that's the case, you can use PayPal credit. Now, reason number 9, tell me why everyone else is signed up. Why aren't you on board? All right, Rita, we have you. Congratulations, Rita is on. All right, so let me take a look at how many people are in already. I think we might have reached our 10 limit. Let's see here. Let me just take a look here, and while I'm doing that, I want you to take a look at one of these reviews here. Here's a great student of mine, Sabina. She's actually in Germany, and I was over in London one time, me and my wife, and Sabina knew that I was going to be in London, and because of the results that she's gotten with her Kindle publishing account and what I've showed her in this program, she actually flew from Germany to London to buy me and my wife lunch. Like, how cool is that? Like, I've never had someone pay their gratitude by flying from one country to another, right? It's only like a 2.5-hour flight or something like that, but I thought that was totally cool. Right, so take a listen to what Sabina has to say here.
Guys, my name is Sabine Kohler, and I started with the Kindle cash flow system mid of April and published so far 3 Kindle books with 6 more books in the making as we speak. They will be published over the next 2 weeks, so I'm quite a newbie on Kindle, but I really do enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I bribed my friend Sonia to come on board as she has a wealth of knowledge with regards to health, nutrition and fitness. She's actually a holistic health coach. And I'm also very interested in health, and most of our topics are actually related to health. And together we are just the perfect team. We find it helpful to outsource the writing of our books. However, once we receive the books back, we spice them up and put our own stamp on them. And this has worked very well so far. Our first book, How to Get Your Dream Body and Keep It, the 6-week body makeover for a flat belly, toned arms and killer legs, published under the pen name Kim Ellis, was off to a flying start right from the beginning, generating over $1,000 in royalties in the first 4 weeks. We also have published How to Start a Daycare in 5 Easy Steps, Don't Get Your Fingers Burned, The Ultimate Beginner's Guide to Skyrocket Your Daycare Business to Success, and OMG, My Son is Gay, how you can help your son coming out and keep him safe. And the two more to be launched over the next couple of days are No More Panic and Diagnosed with Hashimoto's What's Now. What I like about the Kindle Cashflow system is that it is a complete step-by-step system. Usually you buy a program and you get to work just to find out some really important pieces of the puzzles are missing and you can't get it to work. This is why I have been reluctant to buy more courses in the recent past. And this is also why it took me so long to come on board with Ty's course. However, Ty's course is different. It's actually a complete course, and if I'm stuck, I just drop his support team a quick email, which I'm allowed to do once a week, and usually it takes them just 48 hours to come back to me. And that's pretty cool. I can wholeheartedly actually recommend you to get started when you are after a step-by-step system and you have never actually published books on Kindle before. It's a great course. Bye.
All right, she is a sweetheart, and like I said, she's knocking it out the box. So again, you can get in at 30dayprofits.com, and actually I just checked the sales, and we are actually at 11 people now, so we're one person over our limit. So I think we're a little bit screwed on that right now, to be honest with you. Excuse my language, but there may be, what I'm going to do is, how many people still want to get on? If you still want to get on, then just type into the questions box right now, me. If you still want to get in, we've already maxed out. We've hit well past our 10-person limit. But if you still want to get in, just put in me right now. And let me just see how many people are still interested. All right. So put me into the questions box right now. And then let me see how many people are still interested right now. And we'll see what it is. Okay. All right. So let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got a ton of people that still want to get in. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Obviously, I can't let a ton of people in, right? Because I've got a ton of expenses that are associated with this and a time commitment. So I just want to work with folks that are truly going to go in and put the time that's here and that want to see results, and plus the time that takes away from my schedule because I'm going to be working with you one-on-one. All right, so we've got the me's are still coming in. Paul, we've got Marie, Fiona. All right. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it up to, we're going to double it. Greg, what do you think? Should we double this? I'm going to let 10 more people in. So whether you're watching it live or the replay, right? If you're watching the replay, you can still get in. We're gonna open it up, well, not 10, because we have 11 in right now. So 9 more slots. All right, so once we hit 20, that's it, folks. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I have to stop at 20. So whether you're watching it right now live with us or if you're watching the replay, go to these sites, 30dayprofits.com or your kindlekit.com for the 2 payment option. And if you see that they're still open, then you can get in. But if you see where it says sold out, then you have procrastinated, you've waited too long, and you're out. Here's another testimonial. Take a look at this one from one of my students, Steve.
Hi, you guys. Yeah, I just want to tell you a little bit about Ty's Kindle program. It's pretty amazing. I've been messing around with internet stuff for 3 years, and I think all of us who've been playing around with it have heard all the hype. There's no hype in this. This thing works amazing. My name, again, I don't know if I mentioned it, Steve Schreier. I have, let's see, after a week of listening to his tapes, I had a book up and running, and now I have 5. I have 2 of them that are very successful, and one of them is called How to Stand Up and Paddle for Beginners, and the other one is How to Stand Up and Paddle Surf for Beginners. and those have been increasing every month. So to give you an example, my first month I made $200. The next month is $300, and my goal is to every month keep on adding a book, and that way I know my residual income will keep on increasing. That's the cool thing is, one of the things that I loved about Ty's program is that it was effortless. Ty cuts through all the bull. He cuts your learning curve down, because if you check out his tips and tricks, you'll realize that a lot of this stuff you would never have figured out unless he told you up front. I'll give you one example. It's pretty funny. The other day, he mentioned that, hey, price of books at a reasonable price and then start increasing them and see what happens. I did that last week, and I increased my books by about 15%, and I sold more books. And these are the kind of tips and tricks that you would never find out on your own, and Ty has experienced this. So all these things, you put it together, you have an effortless way of making money. You don't have to know, any technology. So it's probably the best thing that you can do right now to make money on the internet, including the growth of the Kindle program. It's an outrageous setup. So take advantage of Ty and his wisdom, and buy the program. You'll have way too much fun with it. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, so since that testimonial, we've had 3 more slots snatched up, so we have 6 left. So again, you can get in by going to 30dayprofits.com. Let's see, what else do we have? Here's one more. Take a look at this one. Let me give you the URL first. If you want to make that one payment of $9.97, you simply go to 30dayprofits.com. If you want the 2 payment plan option, you go to yourkindlekit.com, and you can make that $5.49 payment right now and get started instantly. If you want to use PayPal buyer credit, right, you can go to 30dayprofits.com and choose the $9.97 option. Right, take a listen at one of my favorite students, Valerie. Actually, you know what? We're running low on time, so I'm going to skip Valerie for now. Let's see. How much time commitment per book, says Fiona. Well, here's the thing. Your only time, if you're outsourcing this, your only time commitment is to literally go in and do the research. And you saw how quickly we were able to do the research, right? As a matter of fact, that's step 1, how to come up with a killer book idea in 3 minutes. Okay, so it doesn't take much effort, right? So again, you can get in by going to 30dayprofits.com or yourkindlekit.com. We are coming to the end of this presentation, and I just want to say thank you to everyone that's gotten in. Looks like we now have, we've got Timothy is in. Okay, good to have you, Timothy. Right, we also have Moran. I see your order in as well. Good to have you. All right. Okay. Well, listen, we have, if you're watching the replay right now, there's like 1 or 2 more slots. I think I lost track of where we're at right now, but go in, get in, and if the site is up, then you're good to go. You can process your order. If it says sold out, then you have missed out. Not sure if Greg is still on the other end, but hey, Greg, thank you for having me, man. Really appreciate the time here. And this was an awesome, awesome, awesome group here, awesome crowd. Here's a breakdown of everything that you'll get. Oh, it sounds like Greg is still there.
I am.
There he goes.
Well, you did an awesome job, my friend.
Yeah, man, this was, it's easy when you have a good crowd. When you have a responsive crowd, it makes it easier.
And I don't know if you remember that conversation we had back in, was it 07? I think it was.
If it wasn't last week, I don't remember it.
Okay. And you were selling books, and I said, this is amazing. And I remember you telling me how many units you moved per month. And then when you went to Kindle, I remember that was 2009 or 10. And I said, dude, there's a lot of products coming out on Kindle, and people, in my opinion, it was full of crap, for lack of a better word. And I remember telling you that, dude, you've got to teach them what you're doing. you have to teach them what you're doing, because these guys are putting out content and it's absolute crap, and people are getting jaded by this horrible content. They need to hear the real deal. And I think it was either '09 or early 2010 when we had that conversation. So guys, this is the guy who has mentored me. This is the person who got me going on Kindle. I mean, everything I've done on Kindle is a result of what Ty has taught me. Even how I went out and found someone to make my Kindle covers for Ty. I don't know if you remember, it was paying 75 cents, but it was some of the things you taught me what to say to some of those folks is what I've used to find these guys. So this is definitely someone you want to listen to who is an expert. Not to mention, I saw the beautiful Jag that Kindle bought you. So, yes, that is a gorgeous Jag. So, in all seriousness, guys, you can't go wrong. You guys know that I absolutely love Amazon. And what I love about Amazon, and I'm on the physical side, content-wise, is the fact that I can leverage something that already exists without creating it. All I'm doing is tapping into it and siphoning off some of it for myself, and Kindle will do the exact same thing for you. Kindle is the digital side, and for some of my folks, if you are with me on that physical side and you're learning how to sell information on the physical side, you don't ignore Kindle. The person who's finding you on Kindle is completely different than the person who's finding you on that physical side. So the answer is you do both, because they're two different people. So, and by the way, Darren, I had several conversations with Darren. As a matter of fact, Ty, I introduced Darren to you years and years ago, and he got started, had never made any money online, and now look at the success he's having through your tutelage, which he called me one day and was like, man, thanks for introducing me. This has been great. So it's completely changed his life. So with that being said, guys, Ty, thank you for taking your time today. I know you had a whole bunch of things to do with the kids, but you did me a solid and came out here and talked to my folks. Guys, I thank you for being here. I think, Ty, you said there was 3 slots left? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that we have about 3 slots left. It looks like 2 or 3 more left. So.
All right, guys, I'm going to be sending out the replays tomorrow, so if you are on the fence when that replay is sent out tomorrow, those slots are going to be gone. So if I were you, I'd take advantage tonight before they are gone. So, guys, thank you. Ty, thank you, and hopefully GoToWebinar cooperates, and we may have a replay. I'm just not sure. It all depends on what happens with GoToWebinar. So, guys, thank you, and have a wonderful evening. Good night, everyone.
Absolutely. Have a good night. Thanks again, Greg. Thanks, folks.
Yep.
Bye-bye. And I'll leave the screen up for just a few moments. So if anyone wants to write down the URL, if you need to discuss this with a business partner, your significant, your spouse, your wife, husband, then you'll have the URL. You can write it down right now and come back to it later on.